Hey, welcome back to gggaming. We've done it. We have completed catching all 5 variations of this Flabebe Shiny during this mass outbreak event. So stick around. I'm going to show you all my strats, everything I did to make this a somewhat reasonable task. Because as you can see here in front of me, we've got all 5 plus 1 imposter. So 1 there, 3 there, and there. So 6 total Flabebe right here in front of me. One of these 6 is an imposter, and from this angle, from this view, which is the view that you have when you try to catch these things, it's pretty much impossible to tell which one is which. So stick around and we'll go through all the strats on how to make this somewhat doable. Okay, let's get into this. So, strat number 1, the most important step when it comes to figuring out which of these Flabebe outbreaks that you want to do. Open up your map, and when you take a look at your map, you are looking for the outbreaks with the gold hue around them. So, as we see, we've got one right there, and then there's also one right under me, and we're going to talk about kind of the difference between these two and what you're looking at for the number 1 piece of helpful information, and that is location. Look at your map. Make sure that the Flabebe outbreak you're looking at is somewhat accessible. This one here, they're spawning on water, which makes a lot of my methods not actually work. Makes them much harder to actually get a good close-up view to see if they are shiny. This one here that I'm on right now is the one I'm going to use as the example. It's actually really, really good, and we're going to talk about why. Get out of the map, and let's take a look at this. So I am standing on this little ledge right here, and as we see, there are no spawns up here, which is key. We want to keep all the spawns centralized on one level playing field. So if you have a location where the Flabebe are spawning on multiple levels, so let's say they were spawning up in front of us up here, and you have some down here, but then you also have some up here, that's not going to help you much, because then you're going to be jumping up and down, you're going to lose track of which ones you've already checked, and not a good deal. Now, what's the next step? Once you got a good level playing field where they're all out here and you can see them all, there's none spawning on this level that I'm on, we're going to go down there to where they are. Next thing you want to do, make your sandwich, okay? Don't skimp on the ingredients. Don't skimp on trying to be cheap with your stuff. This is tough. These guys are hard to see. So you want to maximize every opportunity you have to actually get your shiny Flabebe to spawn. So I'm going to go through the sandwich recipe right now, exactly what you need to do. Come up to your table. We're going to go make a sandwich. First, we're going to do a custom, which is down there. It's that creative mode. So we're going to hit the X button. From that, we want 2 tomatoes, and then 1 of each pepper. 1 green pepper, 1 red pepper, 1 yellow pepper. This is the recipe for fairies, okay? Then we're going to use both a spicy herb and a bitter herb. Again, don't be cheap on your stuff. I know there's a lot of shiny strats where you just, only do the sandwich after you've killed the 60, which we'll talk about in a minute, or knock them out rather. But I'm telling you, several of these I caught in the process of knocking out the 60. So it was well worth putting the sandwich up ahead of time and actually using the ingredients. And I do a lot of raids, so there's plenty of ingredients to go around. As you saw, I had quite a bit of Herba Mystica, and that was after doing all these shiny hunts and using a whole bunch of them. So it actually gave me a reason to use a bunch of them. So I would give you a recommendation on how to stack this sandwich. Do it this way: 3 red, 3 green, 3 yellow. Mix and match if you want to. This is a pain to stack and actually make things sit. What you kind of want to do is make sure you stop and hover it a little bit above, so that you see that the ingredient under it is still poking out a little bit in front. And then when you drop it, they sort of level out. And then, of course, the bread, toss that off to the side so it doesn't accidentally mess anything up. Throw down your pen, good to go. As long as you get everything on the sandwich, always a good idea to save right before you do that, which I did not do. As long as you get all this stuff on there, you're going to be good to go for this. And as we will see as soon as it loads through, look at all those wonderful shiny fairy. And the 1 imposter. And And there we go. Sparkle Power Fairy and Counter Power Fairy. Huge, huge, huge. Need that. Make this as easy as possible. So get rid of our picnic table, and then you start the actual hunt, okay? Now, we're not going to go through this whole thing, and of course, they're going to try to evolve, as always. Helpful hint, if you want to stop something from evolving once it already starts, just hit the B button on the controller. So I'm just going to spam the B button, and it's going to stop this guy from evolving, because I'm not ready for him to evolve yet. But when I do want to evolve him, then all I got to do is hit the A button, or I mean, level him up one time. He just has to go up one level. And if you hit level 100 with him and you don't evolve him, then just use a rare candy, and that'll trigger the evolution. All right, now we've got our sandwich going. We've picked our perfect location. Step 3, work yourself in a circular pattern. Okay, so in this case, can I zoom in? Let me zoom in here. Make this a little bit better. So essentially what we're doing is we're going to work ourselves in a circular pattern every single time. We're going to set the table up in one place, and then we're going to work our way out and around the spawns to check them all. Get back to our home base, set up the table again. Of course, as you know, the picnic table resets all the spawns, and then you're going to rinse and repeat and do the same thing. That is going to be the primary method after you knock out 60 of them, okay? Before you knock out the 60, so far we've actually knocked out 0, what we're going to do is we're going to start knocking them out. Send them out. Oh, no, actually, I don't have anything strong. I need to swap out one of my guys here. All these poor little things are too weak. Let's bring in the Shiny Sylveon, which was our primary Shiny Hunter throughout this entire endeavor. That was just for good luck. A Shiny Fairy type hunting Shiny Fairy types. Let her do the work. This is all you're going to do. As you can see, we're not worried about whether they're shiny or not. Because if you didn't know it, you cannot auto-attack and knock out a shiny Pokemon. And I will show you the clip of that right here. I actually tried to knock out the same one several times, and Sylveon actually refused. Won't attack. And I'll show you that clip as we're getting to this part, so you'll see that off to the side. There you go. So just count them up. So what was that? 4, 5, 6, and then just keep counting until you get to 60. All right? We're not going to knock out all 60 of these because I'm going to show you that. Once you get to 60, we'll just pretend I've knocked out 60. Then you're going to set your picnic table up again and save the game. Okay? So hit the save button, save it, and then you're just going to keep setting up the picnic table, and then once your guy throws the Pokeballs, you can hit the Y button. So right there, hit the Y button, and then you can cancel out. So you can do it really, really quick, and that clears the map and forces everything to respawn. You'll notice this particular spawn point, even though I have encounter level 3 up, I'm getting quite a few other spawns down here. You can influence that by changing the position of your table. So if you're seeing that, maybe set your table a little further back up here, and it's out of the range of where those are spawning in. They're basically spawning in because it's outside of the zone of the Flabebe. And yep, there we go. So that's one way to counter shiny, is just randomly run into them. I don't think I actually randomly ran into any, but it is a possibility. As I said, work yourself in a circle. Another helpful tip, if you get 4 of them like this, if you get them to show that little question mark and just sort of stand here for a second, they will all come up next to you. And this is one of the best ways that I found to actually shiny hunt this thing. Then you're going to hit the down arrow on the D-pad on the left side of the controller. What the down arrow does is bring up your camera. Ooh. You bring up your camera and you can see it. And then you use the controller on the right side to actually move the camera. So the thumbstick on the right side. So you can see how easily we can see what color these guys are. Black eyes and green bottoms. We are looking for purple eyes, purple bottoms for the shiny. But none of those are shiny. So we got those 4. We move on. Just keep working our way around the circle. In this case, we can't see any, don't see any, don't see any. So this is a pretty bad example, but there's that one. Bring up the camera real quick. Check him. I can tell that one back there. No good. Check this guy again. I'm pretty sure this is already the one I already checked. Check that. The camera is super helpful because if you got one on the ground like this, pop the camera up, take a look at them. They always turn and look at you, which is kind of creepy. That reminds me of a few horror movies where you just get this thing that turns and looks at you. No shinies. Picnic table up. cycle back through, do the exact same thing. Now, I'm going to show you another tip for seeing the shinies if you don't want to use the camera method. What you will do, let these spawn in for a second. And one key to this is wherever you're standing, they won't spawn. So you're not going to have any that spawns right on top of you. They could spawn behind you, a little bit back there, but you can kind of control where your spawn radius is going to be. So we create this circle. So we've got this whole circle here that we're going to work our way around, okay? Doesn't matter which way we go. We're just going to work our way around and ultimately come back around and set up our table again here. This is far enough away that we don't get all those other spawns. And I don't use Miraidon for this just because they're so hard to see, like this guy right here. Quickly throw the camera up, move on. Nothing. All right, so this one here, because he's a little bit floated in the air, we can just run past him. And then we just have the camera trail behind us, and then we can see whether he's shiny or not. He's not, because he's going to look at you. It makes it easier to see the backside of them. So we'll do that one again with this one. Just kind of put the camera behind him. Green. Not shiny. Move on. Again. Green. Not shiny. Move on. Now, when I get a couple of them like this, I don't use the camera trick. Where it trails, I will actually bring up the camera by pushing down on that little D-pad on the left. And then check that one. Check that one. Nothing. No more spawns over here. And you just run back up, put your picnic table back up, and that's it. That's pretty much it. That is my tips and tricks for making this a little bit easier and catching all 5 of these awesome shinies. That is exactly what I did. Again, location. Get your sandwich up. Don't skimp on the ingredients. Just use them. What else are you saving them for? Special events like this are a great opportunity to use them, and because this guy is so hard to see, having the ability for this guy to spawn while you're knocking them out is huge. Because I will also show you that video where you're just auto-attacking the first 60 with Sylveon. If it's a shiny, she won't knock it out. So you get at least 60 chances at the shiny without even having to mess with the camera tricks. Once you get to the 60, then you're going to save the game and rinse and repeat. Now, once you find the shiny that you're done with this shiny, so let's say I catch the red one by chance, got lucky. Kind of holding my breath here, hoping for maybe just a really, really, really lucky spawn for you guys. Nope, black eyes. You can see even from a little bit of a distance, you can kind of tell with the camera trick, which is I love the camera. Nope, both black. So neither of those shinies. Bring back up the map. Let's take a little bit wider look at what we've got to work with here. So this is how you control what you're going to shiny hunt, because they are marked. That's a red one. That's a blue one. We go a little further north. We get an Arcanine. There's another red there. Okay. So this is how you control exactly what you want. I will say the white flower seemed to be a little bit more rare for me. I had to reset the game multiple times. There's another red one there. To get the white one, but all the rest of them I've had quite a few different spawn points. This one here looks like it probably could be a pretty good spawn point, but you have to be careful because if there's some that spawn down here on this level and some that spawn up here, that may not be a really good options. Some of the best spawn points in terms of mass outbreaks are near cities. So if you get the ones that are near the towns where you can just quickly zone into the town, that would be really good. This blue one up here, given where this location is next to the water, I don't know. That one's probably worth a shot. Not sure. There's some other really good stuff that spawns up there. But otherwise, there you go. Hopefully that helps you. Hopefully that makes it easier to catch all 5 variations of the Flabebe. Again, as a wrap up, location. No, you get the idea. So, alrighty. That is it for this. Use those tips and tricks. Make this easier on you. Hopefully you do find all 5 variations of this guy. Like I said, it was not too terribly hard once I got into the habit and kind of the feel for what we're doing. And as always, if you did enjoy this, drop a like, hit the sub, and come back for more. See ya.